start recording right now. Second, for today we have 6 or 5 maybe topics that I am going to try at least to take all of them, and all of them is about how to make practical this philosophy that we were talking yesterday. Okay, so we are going to talk a little bit more about content and methodology that we started yesterday, but I am more or less summarizing this. And I will try to go to all the other topics: space, time, voice, body, and tools. And for tools, I have something more to share. Okay. If we divide 1.5 hours between those topics, it just means that each of them is 15 minutes. We have take the first 15 minutes, so each of them has to be shorter. And I want to have some time at the end to close the session and to discuss a little bit, and obviously have some kind of discussions in the middle. So we are not in a rush. If we don't finish all the topics today, I am able to talk with you and to support you and to offer my helpful, even in the process that you are having in Barcelona. I don't promise anything like, yes, I will be there, because I cannot. But for sure, any moment that you have a question or you have a comment or whatever you want to tell me, be sure that I will be there and to answer even a chit chat if you want. Okay. So let's start taking again what it means to be or to organize the methodology and the topics that we are going to talk. Topics, we know again that it's about 17 sustainable development goals. Preferent or most probably we are going to choose one of them and go focus with one of them. It is important that students know the others, but I recommend that you don't study all of them, but you know all of them, have knowledge about all of them, what it means, and what is the at least the main goals that in each goal they are looking for, but focus on one that is your passion. Two, if you want, but one that you say, I am going deep in this one. I am trying to develop some um, confidence with the children that you are talking or the young people that you are talking with, to inspire them to do something about this. Okay. About methodology, we already say that I recommend to teach by projects, not by concepts, not just by information, but by projects. Why? Because you have a guide to the person that you are teaching, and you have a main goal. You remember that we were talking yesterday, what is the minimum thing that the person could do to act and to try to change something or the world for better in this goal or sustainable goal. Okay, how it should be a good minimum goal to talk with the people, or to achieve a goal that is realistic, that you can actually achieve, that is not overcoming the possibilities. Because if you put something that is not realistic, it causes frustration, and it is worse than indifference. When someone is like, I don't know how to act, and doesn't act because he's afraid, he can always, or she can always kill the fear. But when it is something that you already have one experience and it is too early in your life, and this experience has been bad, most of the time you don't try again. So it's better to try to put realistic goals, and the person is able to go in this goal, like with a map. Okay. Once you have the goal, the main goal that you are going to build together with all the community that you are teaching with, or that you are your students basically, a goal could be, for example, at the end of the course, we are going to plant one tree, and we are going to have this as a main goal. This is not difficult, but it requires several steps, no? So, for example, which kind of tree you are going to plant, in which part you are going to do that, who is going to take care about this, how we should take care of this tree, things like that. You have to put as small goals to the person know to have this final goal achieved. So if we take this example, for example, it's the whole map that we are tracing is in there. First, what is the sustainable development goal that we are going to focus? in this case about the environment. Then what is the main goal that we are going to have in this time that we have with them to plant a tree? And what are the small steps that you are going to develop with this final goal? Okay, so the person has to know, for example, how to choose one proper mm, field to plant the tree, which kind of tree it should be, which kind of permissions this person has to have because it is a public space and it couldn't be any kind of tree or things like that, you know. So you have to determine small goals on this, okay? About methodology in this, I am reading my notes, okay? It is important that the goal that you defined is always visible for the people, okay? And in the if it is possible, you should let the people have responsibilities with this main goal. You have a common goal for all of them, but you can delegate some responsibilities for each group or each small group of people or even each individual if you are taking all of them as, you know, let them be person, let them participate in the achievement of this goal. So you can ask them what are you interested on, for example, about research, or for example, about to talk with other people that's supposed to be leader in this topic, or if maybe you are going to explore the area around you and define what is the place where we are going to plant this tree. So this is the main responsibility for each of them. Okay. You can also ask them, we are going to have a internal, for sure in the schools you are going to find these projects intern, how do you call that in English? Horta, Ricardo, or the orto, like this internal garden where you can plant things. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. Um,
Yeah, in Italian is orto,
Or
so I understood it.
yeah,
okay,
horta in Portuguese.
or
Orto.
Portuguese. You know that tabia, this internal place where you can plant, like for example, carrots or tomatoes or things like that. That could be inside of the school. For sure, it is not easy to do these kind of things, and you have to ask permission for this thing. If it is your goal, if it is not possible, don't waste your time trying to change the mentality of people that has too much bureaucracy in their mind, because you have no time for that. So look for easy solutions. If you cannot do that into the school and you see, you know, these people is not open-minded enough to do this, don't give up. Look for another goal that you think that it could be possible, you know? So for example, teach to the children how to plant a small plant with beans and cotton in a glass. This is an experiment that you can do easily and take care of this or take care of one plant. And you are making the sensitivity with the guys. No, they are having this impulse to take care of something that is alive. This is already changing things in the mind of children. Okay, but you have to decide. Depends of your possibilities and depends of your passion. You have to decide what is the main goal that you have with them. Okay. Well, this is about more or less content methodology. Okay, you have to put always the main goal visible. Build together with them a plan of action, and this plan of action is going to be the map that you are going to take. If it is not clear the goal, it's difficult to have a map, even impossible to have a map. So the goal has to be something that once you decide, don't change it. It is possible that children is going to tell you, yeah, but you know, I don't like that much this goal again. Ah, but we decided that, and you are teaching them also this. The decisions shouldn't be changed because the way is difficult. Find another ways, find another possibilities, but fight for your decision that you take with them, and let them fight for that. So if the way is too difficult, of course, be sure that the goal that you are selecting is realistic, is achievable, that you can measure that. One tree is something that you can measure. You don't plant half of a tree, you plant one tree. If you say 5 trees, okay, 5 trees, and you have to put dates, a time for that, put a time also for that. The first day or the first week, we have to decide which kind of tree we are going to plant. The second week, where we are going to plant that. I don't know. You You have to research about that, right? But at the end that you have the goal and you can say we achieved this or we didn't. The goal, internal goal that you have to have for yourself is not to achieve the goal, is to teach them how they can organize their life to later on have a plan to achieve this first. And second, sensitivity. You are planting one seed in the mind of your children and your teenagers. And you are telling to them, this is important. If we don't achieve the goal, it's better that you achieve it. But if you don't achieve the goal, at least you plant this seed, and at least one person in this group is going to see, this is interesting. I think that we should explore more this field of studies or to do something about this. Okay? Are you taking notes or you are waiting for the video record? Well, about methodology also, you have or in the possibilities, you should have a clear common of communication, a channel of communication that is, it looks simple, not because the order of classes already give us that, but it is important that you have, for example, when are going to be your meetings, where they are going to be, in which kind of resources you are going to count with, so that the students are clear about our meetings are going to be once per week in this hour, and they have to be ready for this meeting and to be prepared for that. Okay, if it is possible, ask to the school to have a room for that or to have a space that you already have selected for this. You will find that probably you already have that in your countries, but sometimes the bureaucracy of the schools it sucks. It's difficult to fight with that because they have some programs and they don't want to move anything inside of that, no? So they don't want to move classes, they don't have to move rooms, they don't want to move teachers and things like that. And they will tell you, you have this and you have to, or some of the schools will tell you, no, 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 we are going to help you and everything is ready and don't worry. But the internal organization, not just of schools, but in these institutions that are based, in my opinion, in the past century, is difficult to make changes. You have to face this. At the beginning, try to understand where are your, where is your place or what is your place in the school, which class room you can count with, who can help you in case that you have any problem, and ask for technical things. For example, if you need a projector or a computer or things like that, it is not something that the outside mindset is going to help you for that. No, it is everything that you have to have a proposal position. If it is not ready something inside of the school, you have to defend yourself. Okay, be prepared for that. What it means, bring your own resources also. Okay, well, at least in the possibilities. Another thing about this, try to focus in some specific topic. I already told you about one kind of sustainable development goal, but also in one specific field. So if you are talking about, for example, poverty, try to choose one specific field in poverty, for example, personal financial things, or for example, how money works. I don't know, something that you say, we are going to talk about this because we have this goal and it is connected. If you are talking about environmental things, so trees or fruits or the horta or orto or this place inside of the, right? So try to focus in the, if someone is telling to you, you know, but I would love to know how to plant some tree in the moon. Oof, this is not realistic. You can create a kind of metaphor about this or take it, but don't get distracted with other things that could lose the focus. Important, make something with that. If one of your students has something like, wow, this is the idea, but we have not the resources about that, delegate a responsibility to this person. You know, your idea, I think that it's something that is inside of that. but develop it a little bit more. I am interested in your idea. So please, next time, bring something else about this and give this responsibility to the person. Don't cut the imagination of children or teenagers, but don't let this big imagination distract the rest of the group, because you have to take the control of the group. Okay. Okay. What happens if this is online? It's a little more difficult, you know, because in this case, for example, it's easy that I am telling to you and talking to you. We have just 2 classes, and we had not the opportunity to build something bigger about this. There is something that if you want to record, I'm sorry, there is something that if you want to research more about this, it's really interesting, and it is called the inverse class. Normally, when you're talking in the regular class, what happened? Teacher is teaching the concepts and the ideas to students, and then he put some homeworks. We were talking about that yesterday. And this homework is about do something with this thing that I am telling to you, or this thing that I am teaching to you at your home. But then student has the problems with this because they don't know exactly if they had confusions, for example, at home, at the classroom. In home, it will be like, I don't know what to do because I don't have anyone to solve my problems in this moment. So what this inverse class is teaching us, that we should do the opposite. What it means, that we should offer to the students one possibility, that they have the concepts and the information in private moment, not in a common one. And it could be, for example, in text, or it could be even better in videos that you can, if you have now the time, and if you have this nice relationship with camera, because it's difficult, it's not easy to talk in lonely way to a camera. It's like sad. You feel sad doing that. You don't have the interaction with the other person. No? You can do something that is even better. For example, you say, Tabia, if you are Tabia and you have a good relation with, I don't know, Manu, Juliana, Ricardo, whatever, you say, you know, I have to talk about this, but what do you think if we make an interview by internet and we record this? So you are talking with another person. This is why I am doing this with you, for example. I'm talking at the same time with 4 people, and for me, it's easier to talk about these kind of concepts than to just talk in front of the camera. And in this case, I am exposing the knowledge that I have about one topic, and I am recording that. And I can show this, for example, to other people that know about the same thing. And then we can have a meeting with these people after they have seen the video that you have recorded to them, and solve the problems, the questions, the interrogants that the concepts has created in their mind. You understand the concept of inverse class? So it means basically, instead of teach directly to the students the concept and then ask them to solve the problems at home, you give the concepts to them that they can check that in the moment that they want. Could be a video, could be text, could be whatever they want, but that they have the concepts in private, and then you have a moment with them together and say, let's solve the situations that we have in this topic or in this information that you already have in private moment. So if we will do like that before of we talk about this face to face through internet, which is strange. I'm sorry, we have 2 people in the waiting room. Admitir. Andrea and Irene. Hello. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Irene.
Hello.
Andrea
Can you
is.
hear?
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, we were more in the middle of one explanation, okay? I will finish this first stage and then I will ask you to have an introduction about yourself also. I guess that you guys or more or less know about you, okay? So to finish this concept about the inverse class, the idea is that you have the possibility to offer to the person the concepts that you are going to talk about, and then another moment when you are going to solve the questions, the interrogants that this person could have about this. This is mostly important in internet connections or in Zoom interactions. Why? Because you can improve the time that you have with people when you tell them, let's have a private moment with learning, and then let's have a posterior moment or a post moment with building knowledge together, all in a common language. Okay, this is about methodology also. I don't know if you have any question about this before to give the word to Irene and Andrea. I am afraid about silence because I don't know if you don't have questions or if you definitely don't understand and you're ashamed about to ask. I hope that is the first and not the second.
It's the first. It's the first.
Okay. Thank you, Ricardo. Irene and Andrea, welcome to this classroom. Tell us about you, please.
Hello, thank you. About us, like about our personal.
So you haven't been yesterday with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any special reasons because of that?
Yeah, I was doing an exam.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, I was in class.
Was in class. Okay.
Yeah.
We have the video of the conversation yesterday. I hope that Tabia, Juliana, Manu, and Ricardo has no problem that I will share the video with them. And then they are going to experience what it means inverse class in real life, the methodology, because you are going to see this, that was a conversation between us, explaining some concepts and explaining how it should be the process of teaching. And then you're for sure going to have some questions. Andrea and Irene, basically 2 questions. Where are you and where are you interested about join the sustainable development goals teaching process that I am trying to teach to these beautiful people here?
We are in charge of the project. I mean, I'm the team leader of the project for contacting the schools, and Irene is in charge of the volunteers.
Okay, wonderful. I was talking with you, Andrea, right? The
Yeah.
meeting that we had, but not with Irene.
Yes.
Irene, no? It's Spanish name.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, girls. Then let's talk about how it should be the performance in the space. We are closing methodology and content. So please, any question that you have right now, this is the moment. 3, 2, 1. Close methodology and content. Let's talk about space, okay? What is the space and why it is important? Think about the moment when you have a class in the regular way in your school, for example. So if we see most of the time, the organization of the space is one person in front, the rest of the people organized sometimes in lines, and the perspective that you have of this classroom, if you are one of the last people in the classroom, is that you have the neck of the guy that is in front of you and the teacher that is in front of the whole class, right? So this configuration works in the previous era, in the previous age. Why? Because you are just one listener of one person that's supposed to have the power and the knowledge. But my position and my invitation to you, my convite to you is that you understand that all of the people that is in the classroom has something to say, has something that you don't know. And as a teacher, you should take this seriously, important. Why? Because even if this person thinks that has nothing to offer, the fact that you are telling to the other person, you have something to say is important for this person. You are giving to the other one the role of a participant in the classroom and not just as a listener. And it changed the mentality of the person. It works, okay? So my recommendation is that you, if it is possible, create a circle with the people. In a cycle, we are having all of us the same vision. We are part of something that together is built, okay? So if you start the day and first stretching as we have done at the beginning, and then let's transform this classroom, and we are going to create a circle, okay? Or at least that everybody has the vision of each other. If it is too many people, try to make like circles with one center, okay? So organize the space in a different way. If you can avoid, for example, chairs, you can sit down on the floor and you can do that. Children loves that. They can have like, they are the owner of the spaces. If you can create activities where they can move around the place, that is amazing also. So try to break down the configuration of the classroom in the middle of the possibilities without losing the control, because you anyway are the leader in this place, and you have always to take the control of this thing, okay? Once you have reorganized the space, I conditioned the classroom to understand that there are some places that are saint places. So for example, try to make visible this main goal that you have with the whole group at the beginning of the class by mentioning that, but also by writing this. This is the goal that we have, and to expose that in a public place. One goal in the door, in whatever it is, but it is clear. When someone is not focusing what we have to achieve together, you can show that. Remember that this is our goal. We are in here. We have this mission. Apollo is going to the moon. There is not another thing that we have to be distracted, okay? So if you have this space in there that you can go there and say, remember that this is what we have, wonderful, okay? Also, have one place, it will be the same one that where you have the goal for the map. So this big goal that could be too big in the mind of children or teenagers, you will divide for small moments, and you can create a calendar and a map for this. In which week we are? In the third one. Okay, this third week, we're supposed to achieve this goal in this moment. Are we there? Let's check 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the beginning of the class to know if we are in the correct line or not, and what we should do to go in this direction, okay? So in the space, it has to be some specific places where we should put in visual way these main goals that we have, okay? Try to organize one common place where people can have opinions. If you have, for example, one board or one wall where people can say, I want to say something, but it's not about the topic that we are talking right now. Give them posits. And in those posits, it is possible to stick in there. So let the person, if you have enough control of that, in the moment that they want, write a posit and go there and stick it. Okay? Why? Because if you let the other person interrupt the topic that we are talking about, it could create chaos and confusion, and you don't want that. You want order. You want to have this goal clear to go there, but you don't want to cut the inspiration of other people. So be sure that you are letting to the person write some notes, go there, stick it in there, and be sure that you have, we are going to talk about that when we talk about time, at least 10 minutes at the end of the class to go there and to talk about these ideas that they have. If you have not the time for that and you say, we are so sorry, we have to stop the class now, be sure that you take those posits, you go home with them, and you try to find a solution for that, okay? And you say, you know, what you are thinking in this moment, even if it is not connected with what we are talking, it matters, and we will do this. Be careful, because if we are talking especially about teenagers, it is possible that they are using this as an excuse also, no? Like, my goodness, this class is so boring, I'm going to post something in there. And they write something like, my mom loves me. Ah, wonderful, but thank you for the information, no? But I don't think, or at least ask in private to this person why we should talk about in public, speak about the love that your mom has about you. It is important, yes, okay, let's talk about this. But have the filter that it is not using or wasting the time for something that is actually not important for the main goal that you have, okay? This is about space. Then in online space, how we do this in online space, we have some tools about this. Please, one of you, I will ask to one of you, that maybe Irene or Andrea, take notes about these things that you are going to be my wall of posits, okay? Mine or and them. So we have to talk about Miro. That is a tool. At the end of the class, when we are talking about tools, Miro. I don't know if you know that, Miro in, okay, Miro.com, because it is a wall that let us to do this thing that we are talking about, okay? I will expose one example that we have for one group with one, let's say, mentoring process that I am having with another company. But there are tools that let you have common walls where people can post uh, post things with posits in a digital wall, and you can control that, and everybody can have the vision, the regular vision about this, okay? So try to use this kind of tool that let you interact with them, have a parallel combination of this. We can have in this moment, for example, this screen with all of our faces in here, and at the same time, the wall in Miro where we can go there and work per groups. Okay, I'm going to show you that in a moment. Use these online things and tools. What else about spacing online? Now, basic this. Also about space that is connected with body, because we are going to talk about this as well. Try to manage space in the way that you are connecting with all the people that is listening to you. It's so easy, and you as a student knows that you have small groups of people having their own connection, their own talking, their own private conversation, right? So try to go to those small things without break the rhythm of the class. So if in one moment you are talking about something that is so important to the students, and you see one group that is in there, don't stop the class. Just go there. Continue talking about your topic and do that from the place close to them. Then they feel that they have this respect for you and the respect for the rest of the class. And you can go there and say, for example, what do you think about this? And I used to make this joke, and I think that you already have seen this, that I ask for volunteer, but I delegate the role of the word. No? It is a nice way to obligate to the person to talk. I'm sorry if you feel obligated, but it is something that works. It's not that I am trying to you are doing wrong, please speak. No, it's not about that. And in some cases, it's about participation. I want really listen to you. And this previous moment about who wants to talk in this big silence, sometimes it's uncomfortable for, in my case, I have this feeling for me as a teacher. So I try to say, for example, so let's try voluntarily. Manu, thank you for the volunteer about this. Please tell us about, and it is like, this guy is obligating me, but at the same time, it's a little funny, no? You don't feel offended. I hope that you don't feel offended with that. And you let the other person participate. So go to this group that you know that they have their internal, and don't break anything. Don't be not nice person. The opposite. Have this confidence with them. For sure, it is important what they are talking about, but share that with us, or let's participate because we have a common topic, a common goal together. So make them part of the team, part of the group. Going there. You are not a tree. You are not planted in front of the classroom. You are not planted in the center of the circle that you designed by yourself. You can move, and this movement make the people have the attention to you. Okay? Remember that your students are sit most of the times. So if you're one person that is just talking like this, they are seeing you as you are seeing me right now with this angle, right? Go to the level sometimes when they are working in groups. Go there, be close, talk to them. Okay, what do you think? make the space a scenography, a scenario. To teach is a lot about to be an actor also, to perform. Enjoy that. And sometimes you feel like, oh my goodness, I am so lost in what I am talking about. Remember one history that could be connected with that. It is important that you never lose the control because you have the flag of the team. You have this. You are the commissioner to have the flag of the team. What it means, it doesn't mean that you have to know everything, but it means that you have to know how to manage the direction that you are following. And this main goal in the world is also for you. So remember always that, okay? Something else about space. Can I sit down? Can I sit down? Yes. Okay. This is about space. Let's talk about time, okay? You have two problems with time when you are a teacher. First, that it is too short. Second, that it is too long. So if you feel that it is too short time to talk, or to talk, no, to teach to your students what you are going to teach, you previously have to organize more or less the topics that you are going to discuss. So what I have done, and it is so easy, I have some topics that I am going to discuss with you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 1.5 hours. So in these 90 minutes, how many minutes should have each of the topics that I am going to explain? So if I decide that each of them has 15 minutes, I have to be sure that it is never 15 minutes. Normally, it's less than it because there are other things that are not planned, but if they exist in the classroom. What is not planned, for example, that one student is having a question and he is talking and he gets inspired talking and he talks and talks and talks, and that's beautiful, that's wonderful. But you have to know that it reduces the time of the other things that you have planned. It's more important to have interaction and connection than to take all the topics that you have planned. Because this is not about a factory. This is not about we have 5 minutes to make the circuit, the other 5 minutes to put the operations in the circuit, and then to put the cover, and this is a machine. No, school is not a machine. School is about interact. Education is about challenges, about transform, about have common knowledge producing inside of the classroom. So be careful about these opinions of your students. Mostly, if they are taking it is not possible to take a wrong direction, but a direction that is not going to the goal that you have as a main direction in your group. But try always to take this and conduct that again into the way, okay? So with time, divide the topics that you are planning to do, put all of them and say, we have 15 minutes for this, 15 minutes for this, 15 minutes for this, and try to control that in the best way that you can do that, okay? This is the time of the class, but you also have a time of the whole program. You have to be clear about what do you want to do in each of the classes that you are having with students, no? So if in one class, for example, you see that the topic that you are talking about is wasted, you don't have to talk anything else about this, take the next one from the next class and bring it here. And if it has been so long topic but so interested and you didn't take all the topics that you wanted in one class, don't worry, continue in the other one. You are going to create one common build watch that is divided, or calendar that is divided in days, and these days divided in small topics, and you can for sure organize all of them, okay? About time, for example, if you are online, one good strategy is this one about the inverse class. So if you have the possibility to tell to the people in the classroom, I have these videos. It doesn't have to be your video. It could be other resources. Could be other things that you are explaining in the same connection. I have this that I want that you show, that you see that class. I'm sorry, at home, and then we are going to discuss this in class. It optimizes the time that you have with them. It is improving the performance that you are having in class. Try also to have, especially with children, activities that you let them to develop in certain time. No? You can, for example, have one class when you have 15 minutes or 20 minutes to explain something and to delegate some task to them and tell them you have another 20 minutes to finish this task. And they are in groups, again, distribution of the space, and you go to each of them to try to solve some problems or some, how you call it, yeah, question that they could have. But measure the time always, if it is possible to do that. Okay. About space and time, questions? Nothing? I don't know if you can see right now, but Juliana looks as a expressionist painting. This light in there and a little like not focus, looks beautiful. And this war behind of her looks really, really as a painting. Okay, I like your camera. Let's talk about voice. What is the boring thing that you have had about classes when you was a student? What is the thing that you say, oh my goodness, this is so boring?
A teacher with a monotonous voice.
Monotonous voice.
That's why.
This is one of the things, yes. In general, routine, no? I think that as a human beings, we love variation, no? If we are talking about personal life, for example, we decide to have relationships to have problems, actually, because life plain and flat is so boring. So you have one moment of intense emotion, and then you need this calm moment, and then again, and it happened with boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, friends, ourselves, with everybody. We love have first organization and routines because our brain needs this, but we also needs to break down that all the time. So imagine that in one class, one person is the speaker, and this person has always the same rhythm. Doesn't matter what is the rhythm. Could be ba, 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 ba. After 10 minutes, we are boring with this. And the same if this person is after 5 minutes, what is happening with this guy or with this girl? Let's bring water, no? So try to be aware about the connection that you have with your, but also before I say that, we have our own rhythm and it is so difficult to be aware about that. When you are talking, you don't listen to yourself. Wait. Okay. Don't worry. And
Just to say goodbye and not to interrupt the class.
don't worry.
So thanks, Julian, again, and see you all very soon.
Thank you, Irene
Bye.
and Andrea. Bye. Bye. So, when you have this monotony in your life, and even if it is for a moment, it's difficult to get connection, to get empathy with this person. So, and also at the same time, you are not that aware about how you speak to other people. When I don't know if you have had the opportunity to listen yourself and to see yourself in a video. It's really strange sensation. Tell me, Tabia.
I think I don't like it at all. Like if you send voice messages on WhatsApp and I listen to my own voice afterwards, I think it's horrible. I cannot listen to it.
I think that is a common feeling, no? Do you agree, guys and girls? Most of the times we are like, who is this person that is living inside of me? It has a tiny voice because we listen ourselves when we are talking grave because we listen with our internal part. So I think that I have a sexy voice, you know. And then when I am listening to myself outside in a it's like this is not sexy, it's a mouse. So it happened also with our connection with other people when we are talking to them. It's important that we have this confidence about our own voice, but you have to know that they are listening to yourself in another way. And don't be afraid about that. Just command that. Be the own captain of your ship. Be the one that is telling to the others in different rhythms, in different volume of voices, with different connections. You know what is the best way to calm a noisy classroom? To whisper. Because when you start whispering in front of all the people, they want to pay attention. And they are like, wait, shh, shh. Between them. If you scream, it's horrible. It's horrible because you are telling to them you have to scream, which is what most of the teachers don't do. They are silence, please, because I want to talk. Ah, shut up. It's horrible because the message that you are telling to the people is scream. People don't receive orders about the content of the order. They receive that better about the example of the order. So if you are whispering to them in a calm way when they are absolutely, you are telling to them, I'm going to tell you something really important. And if you want to be part of this, you have to calm down, to go slowlier, and to pay attention. And step by step, the most interest one are going to tell to the other, shut up, because this guy is something interesting, is going to tell me something interesting. Okay? Then you are going to experience that, and it will be different reactions in there. So maybe you are coming back to this moment and say, but Julian told me that this will work and it is not working. What to do now? No one wants to shut up. So you have to go to the space because voice is not enough. And what do you have to do to combine both of them? So whisper, it doesn't work. Go to the groups that are more noisy and tell to them, you know, guys, I like you, but I need your silence and your complicity. We are going to have a good relationship, okay, in here. So let's do this together. What do you think if you help me to the rest of the group is going to calm down a little bit? Directly to them, directly. Have this connection with the group that you know that they are, my goodness, if I will be your father, I will lock down the whole week in your room, but you cannot do that. You have to have this complicity with them. Okay, so voice works when you have variation to have the rhythm of the group. Try to combine that with the resource that you are using for this. So for example, and this is about content also, that you have to use some resources. Sometimes you have to give information to the people, and this is numbers and statistics and things like that that could be a little boring, but it's important. So try to perform something to them when you are giving this information to them, and to have in graphic in the board or in one slide or whatever it is. But this voice could change when you are changing the resource that you are using. And if you are telling a history to them, for example, storytelling is so important. You can make a narration about this. And you can talk about the moment when the war is going to finish, because it is not possible anymore to plant trees in this world. And they are going to be, wow, this world will disappear. My goodness, now, teacher, they are going to participate, for sure, for sure. But try to join your voice in the same way how you are joining the narration that you are talking in the classroom. Okay? Something else about voice projection is so difficult when you don't used to talk with a big group of people to have voice projected. You have to be sure, you have to talk to the last one. You know, you don't have to talk to the one that is closest to you, but the opposite. You have to be sure that the last one in the line or in the circle or in whatever it is listening to you. In that way, the others are listening to you. Okay. So if you see and this is absolutely natural. My woman is in the other room right now. I'm sure that she is listening to me, and right now she is laughing because I'm talking in this private conversation in here, right, in the computer. But I feel that I am talking to the classroom in here, so I increase the volume of the voice. This is natural for me. It's difficult to have a conversation with the computer in this way because I see 4 people in here, 5 if I count myself. In the classroom, you have to be sure that all the people that is surrounding you is listening to you, okay? Also about voice, and this is more about control of the voice or control of the word that you are giving to the people. Try to use one key object that you have and no one else have. It could be, for example, a teddy bear, small one, right? And you say the one that has the teddy is the one that could talk. No one else. If you want to talk, please ask for the teddy because this is the moment of participation and it is so important that we have one person that is talking and the other person that is listening. What is the difficult part? That you are the teacher and you always feel that you have the teddy bear with you, and it is not true. You have to follow that also by example. So if you say that, be sure that you use this object and you go to the other person. Can I have the teddy for a moment? Yes. Okay, now I am going to put order in here because we are not working. You have the teddy, you can talk. This person that is in here, what is your name? I don't know, my name is Felipe. Felipe, you are not having the teddy bear. Why you are talking? Please respect the rules that we have in here. It makes the other people get control of that, know that they have one moment to talk when they want to talk and that they have to ask for this. Or also easier even what we are going in here, and I think that is a universal code to ask for the word, raising the hand, right? If you want to talk, have permission to the person that is talking or to the one that's supposed to be the leader, the facilitator, okay? You are most facilitator than teacher. What it means that you are making the work works, making the process works. So you order, you can talk, you can talk, you can talk. Be sure that everybody can talk. There are some methods that I don't like. That is, for example, the one that is talking too much, go to the director. Well, it's discriminating him, and sometimes in extreme cases is needed, but don't use that as a fair solution. It has to be the extreme one to try to do this, because otherwise you're not having respect and control for the people that you are working with, okay? My English is not that well, I understand that, and it is difficult for me to vocalize sometimes. And I guess that I read that in your comments that it could be one of the fears that you could have with students, not about English, but what about students that doesn't speak English and you don't speak Spanish, right? I have a good news for that and a bad one for this. The bad one is that I don't know how to solve this. The good one is that it's not just me the only one that should solve that, but you also have participation in the solution of the problem. So I have recommendations for this, right? For example, I have been, this has been beautiful experience that I have in my life. I think that I told to all of you, I have been teaching how to make movies for immigrant teenagers in Barcelona, well, in Badalona, that is close to Barcelona. And some of them, for example, were students that just arrived to, to Spain, mostly from Pakistan. So I had a really problem because I don't speak Urdu, not even a word. I have no idea how to say that. But inside of the classroom, I have people that speak Spanish and Urdu. So I select some of them as the official translators. When one person that has to post something in Urdu that doesn't speak Spanish has to say something, I ask to this person, please feel absolutely free to speak in Urdu. You are with people that speak in Urdu. And I was just listening, not questioning, not asking, nothing, just listening. And they feel confident. It's difficult for them to try to speak in a language that they don't mind. But when it is their native language, it's much easier, much more easier. So in this way, then when this person finished, I asked to the other one, could you please translate to me? So I translate the problem to the student to myself. I take this responsibility as mine. Why? Because I am the teacher and I don't want that the other person feels that he or she is the problem, because she is not. The problem is mine that doesn't speak Urdu, but I can manage that. I am an adult person and I can manage that. So you, even if you are you are not teenagers now, but 20 teenagers, let's say. So as young people, you are adult, more adult than them. They are not adult, they are teenagers or children. You can take this responsibility and select one person that is going to be your partner in that way. You know, you're my right hand. Thank you so much. I expect that you translate this. What happens if no one of them speak English? That's a problem. I hope that you have not this situation. If you have this situation, tell me and we are going to find a solution together, okay? But I hope that you have not this situation. Any of you have any solution for this? We will talk about that, okay? Translators. Cell phones sometimes have these tools also that helps. But let's see. Voice. Is clear about voice? Okay, internet. Be sure that you have a microphone. Okay? Why? Because sometimes, for example, I have not a microphone here. I hope that you're hearing well, right? What happened yesterday, for example, Juliana was an amazing example for this because she had problems with her computer, but I can solve it. I have my cell phone also. Okay, I'm going to have the communication by my cell phone. So this is important that you have at least an alternative. If you cannot join with the computer, you can join with another thing. It's important. Technical problems that you could have no internet, disaster, could be really difficult. Have not a technical good communication, camera, microphone, whatever it is. With Zoom, I recommend to use Zoom most of the times because a part of have a good platform, it doesn't take that much megabytes, so it optimizes the how you call banda ancha. Okay, this channel of where the megabytes are crossing. No, I don't know how to call that, but it optimized the the performance of the computer, the performance of the internet, and it also has some tools that are specifically thought for meetings, as it would be the school, no? So the latest version of Zoom has, for example, groups. If I ask you, for example, to work in groups, I can send Ricardo and Tabia for one room, and Juliana and Manu for another room, and me as a coordinator of the class can enter to this. So Tabia and Ricardo will work in one room, Manu and Juliana will work in another one in different topics, and you don't have connection between them, but I can enter in each of them. So you can use this as a resource also. Basically, it's the same as if you ask in the classroom working groups in teams. It's exactly the same. You can go there. Okay, I recommend Zoom in this case. Okay, something else about. I think that is enough. Something about voice and about space in internet that I haven't talked about that. Be sure that you have good light. I see that all of you has good light in here. That your voice is clear listened, so that the person can listen to you clear. Of course, this is basic things. Try to you don't have this in here, but when you see someone that is doing that in your team, in your group, you don't have light behind of you. because it creates against light, so it's difficult to see you. And try to don't have a noise surrounding you, of course, right? If someone is having noise surrounding that person, you can ask, or you can directly switch off his or her microphone for, as you as a coordinator, no, in Zoom. And to activate the microphone, there is a tool that you can say, ask to this person to activate the microphone, and this person will receive a notification, and this person can activate the microphone in the moment that this person has to talk. But try to have this in a silent place, in a calm room, and this is normal things, not that I don't think that we should spend more time on this. Okay, let's finish because we have more or less 20 minutes. Body performance, I have talked about this a little bit. And to summarize, walk around the classroom, go to small meetings that they are having this, or organize the workshop in meetings, and you can go to some places that you can control easier. Try to show in present classes or to act with the whole body. So if you can do that, stand up and move your hands, express yourself with all the body that you can do that. Okay, it's good to have something in your hands, because normally we are no, but if we have something in our hands, we are having more connection with them. Okay, and if you have the internet connection, your body almost doesn't exist. It's face that is talking, no? So be sure that your face is clear, that you are close enough to the camera to let them see your expressions and your face, and that you have an optimized space to try to speak with them. Something that is important, and I think that it could be interesting for you, show some alternatives, you know, like have some time to show them how work some things, slides that you could have prepared before of that. If you have not those slides, okay, it doesn't matter, but try to show graphic things. This class, for example, I know that this has been a little difficult because it's just me talking, 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 talking. So you suffer of the just one person talking, and that is not good. So apologize for that right now. We are going to cross soon to the mirror. I can see that Tabia is really cold in there. No, she's like covering a lot. Well, I want to dedicate time to the tools, but I will try to close body and scenario in meetings. Sit in a light place, give space for your face in the first frame. Focus on face, yes. So now talk about bull, the tools, not bulls. Bulls is too Spanish. Tools that you should use with your classes. Basic things in the space, present one, the board. Try to use the board. Try to write on there. Try to let the other people take the market and write also. Ask to them to use the tools that you have. Use the wall where you have the main goal and the wall where you have the deposits for questions, okay? So let the people go around the space and have different tools, different corners in the same space, okay? Then slides. If you can project some slides and use, or you want to use some videos, for example, wonderful also. If you have select, or if you have some examples with movies, for example, use that. Be sure that the movies are more or less in the range of age that you are working with the people that you are working with, no? So if it is children, try to use some movies that are short movies and animation movies, for example. If it is teenagers, you can use other kind of movies, or select scenes or frames even, and that are more or less in their connection. How do you know that? By looking to the people. Look into the people, you discover more or less what could be their cultural interest on that. Music, if you have, for example, there is a lot of programs that you can I mean, channels in YouTube that you can select that are talking about some of the, for example, gender equality, music about gender equality. There is a lot of that, and environment, things like that, or human rights even, and music that is more young music, for example. There is a lot of artists that are exploring those topics. Then it is, let's say, easier, no, to connect with that. And let's go to some music that they could use and try to analyze this, not just by the content, no, but also why they like the music that they are listening and how you can connect this with the topic that you have selected for your explanation, right? Now I will dedicate this time that, in my opinion, is more important to share with you some websites that could help you in this. Okay, so I will share my screen, and first I will find, what is it? Yes. So I will start with Miro. That is the platform that I have told you how it works. I will show you one Miro that is used for one program that I am having. Miro. Can you see that, all of you? Yeah? Okay. So Miro is a board, basically. And as a board, you can post all the things that you want in there. This thing that you are seeing is one Miro created by Pandora. Pandora is a nice organization that is working with social programs and entrepreneurs. And we are 70 people participating in this workshop. Right now, we are having a program that is teaching us how to create our own business and how to make that in a social development way, let's say. So what we have in here, 5 groups surrounding one center thing. When I send, I cannot share this with you because it's not mine, no? But when I send the link to this Miro, all of you can create things in here. And you have, I will go close to one group. All of those 5 things is for facilitators, people that is facilitating the process. So for example, in here, we have one person that is called, I cannot see this, Diana. Can you see that? That in the upper part, in the black one, say Grupo Diana, Diana team. And Diana has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups. Each of these, so she's the responsible, no, for of those 5 groups. And each of those 5 groups has the same configuration of the things. Diana has prepared this previously, these walls. And this is organized with all the tasks that we should develop. So in this first part is the description of the team. Then it is another second part that is down, that is one task that we have to create. Then it's a second one that is another task that we have to create. And we can, if we want, go closer to this. And for example, write in here something, apply, right? And it is in here something. And I can translate this, or translate, not move this to another place. Okay, I will let it as it was. Oops. Yeah. So what it means that you have a board in internet to use this as a resource, okay, to work with people. You have to explore this, is miro.com, and discover how you can participate on or make people participate on a common wall, having common goals. This is just a resource, okay? This is not about sustainable development goals. This is just as a resource that you can use to make all the people participate in one common thing, okay? I will not go further with this. How can I, yeah, now I want to show you actually, Okay, are you seeing the other screen or not? You're still in mirror. You are in UNESCO now, right? Okay. So UNESCO has Sustainable Development Goals resources for educators, and you can go there. It's en.unesco.org, and then you can explore in themes education, sustainable development goals material, right? And in here you can choose, for example, what is the topic that you want to work with. So if we go, for example, to good health and well-being, it shows us which kind of resources we can have to work with students, right? For example, and it is divided for the range of age of the children or teenagers. Primary education, secondary education, multimedia educational resources. You have pedagogical resources, ideas for classroom activities, multimedia, give inspires, etc., etc. And it works with all of them, okay? So I invite you to explore this more. And it has the same configuration for all of them. So if you enter, for example, for multimedia, they are going to present something that could be so nice, like videos, informs, or things like that, or some things that is not that interesting, like some poster that has not that many information, but one sentence from one person. But it is important to explore all of them, no? To go deeper on this. Then you can find some organizations that are working with this. So in the same way that you find ISEC project that is working with this, you can find other, for example, this Take Action, TISH, SDGs for other people. No, you can be, for example, an ambassador that is going to develop some activities, and you can join their teams also. I am not making promotion to the competence because I don't think that is a competition, no, who is doing better things, but the most of the resources that you can use for this is the best, no? And you can talk with people in here that is expert on those topics. All of them has English language as a main language of communication, so it is not a problem for you. And they can orientate you also with some activities. Okay. And I want to show you something that I have been working with in Catalonia. It's called Petit Compass, but the international version of this Petit Compass is the Compasito. What is the Petit Compass or the Compasito? It's a manual of how to teach human rights for children and young people. So it's a book that you can find online for free, or that you can buy in bookstores or rent in libraries. And it is teaching you, depends of the interests that you have, the age of the people that you are working with, sorry, which kind of activities can you develop with them to teach human resources, human rights, and social justice. This is just about those topics that is about that, no? It's about job, work, human rights, avoiding killing, penitence for people that has committed crimes and things like that. And it is divided for how you call it, age, cultural interests. For example, if you have music as a cultural interest or films as a cultural interest. And some of them also has like recommendation for specific characteristics. For example, people that are actually suffering the poverty, or people that are interested in the topic, but they want to have more empathy or things like that. Okay. Those are more or less the resources that I recommend that you can use for this, okay? And of course, I will promote myself. You can explore the project that I am developing, that is Share to Change, that is inside of this website that I sent you before, that is QBrain. And Share to Change has the goal, or the main goal, is to have experts in those 17 sustainable development goals that is offering knowledge about the things that they already have study and has experience on, and create some educative programs for young people, create actually the videos and the resources, the actual resources, to teach around the world how we can achieve those goals. So if you are interested in being a volunteer to create some video experience or some classes about how to teach one of them based on the knowledge of one expert and association that you will be interested to work with, let me know and I will connect you with this association that could be the expert, and we together will create a program for this. This is not another thing that my way to offer to the world the possibility to achieve those goals, because in my opinion it's urgent. It's really urgent. And I think that the fact that you are following this program with ISEC is just a proof that it is urgent for all of us, no? So, girls, guys, we have 2 minutes to discuss about this class of today, to hear comments and to hear you about what do you think that we can improve and how it could be, or what is your interest maybe for another opportunity. We have not more meetings programmed so far, but as I have told you in the beginning of the class, if you have any question or you have any recommendation and you want to ask me something, I'm absolutely available. I will write in the chat the cell phone that I am using for the company, and you can text me by WhatsApp if you want, okay? I hear you guys and girls. Something to say? Something to share? Okay, so it has been a beautiful class. Thank you so much. And we are closing actually the formation. No? I really wish you a wonderful experience in Barcelona. I would love to meet you. You're around Barcelona, let me know. And maybe if the situation is better, we can have a face-to-face conversation and have yeah, all of you are adult, no? We can have a beer together if you want, or a coffee that is most useful or more common in Spain culture to have a coffee. Thank you so much for joining this, guys. I wish you the best. Enjoy the time in Barcelona. Enjoy the experience. And I hope that you have learned something in this program here. Okay. Spread this to the rest of the world also, guys. I will ask you again, please enter to the platform, create an account. And if you really want to make a change and you think that this is a way, you're absolutely welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you, guys and girls.
Thank you.
Okay.
We wish you the same.
Okay. Thank you so
Stay
much.
safe.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.